The barometer by which I measured my excellence was based on my peers and not students. They will always say, oh, I love you, teacher Karaba, trainer Karaba, facilitator Karaba. Yeah, they gonna always love me unless they're all of y'all. Like I said, it's giving gangsters paradise with you. But for the larger majority, people don't want to be breaking a teacher heart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I don't feel like a human psychology. So if I, as Karabo, being somebody that I think I'm a good teacher, if I don't think you're good, baby, then you're not good. Because why are you failing your course? And I feel like you shouldn't go to Korea because what are you going to do to kids at the Hagwons? What are you going to do to some people's children? Why are you going to be out here breaking some mama's hearts? No. Leave Banababato alone. If you want to leave the occult but have something to do and find yourself making a whole chunk of money, go just like somebody singing auto-tune on TikTok and claiming that that's their authentic voice. Go and teach English online, baby. Go with your TEFL certificate that you will finally get because you failed 5 times and then they gave it to you anyway. Teach online. And over the years, end up charging $30 an hour. End up charging $50 an hour. You can get there with rave reviews because you will get them. I understand you will get them. But don't go to Korea. Leave them Koreans alone. They don't need you. They don't deserve you. You don't deserve them. And they don't deserve what you are. Stop trying to climb the bandwagon of a Christian's deliverance. Teach English online. Don't go to Korea unless you're serious. Unless you actually really truly want to repent. And again, unless you feel like you're called. Which I doubt at this point. And of course, another all passing. Assignments need you to have passed. Not passed, sorry, but be serious. Assignments are the ones that assess, if at all, Jaka Hounds Pasahagana from Unit 1 to Unit 5. Did you actually read the work? They are the ones that are going to catch you off guard naked out here. Hey, strolling these streets got straight. Assignments are the ones that are going to catch you off guard. And you're going to resubmit until you feel like trash. And yet you want to go and teach at a Hagwon in South Korea. Bana bayang skolo after skolo. When I know banka skolo tuwa matekwan. At 3 p.m. Those kids at 3 p.m. are preparing to go to their second school, the school of which is where you're going to be teaching. Baby, you don't belong there. You don't belong there. But look at you go anyway. That's what South Africa done got rid of. That's what Mzansi done got rid of. Those are the talented folk that this nation just vomited out like they ain't jack. Even though we are whole entire esteemed professionals. And now the Lord is giving us a place to go and fulfill our destinies. Fluent by the time they get to matric. Maralona, Zwang mo baneng babang. Zwang mo baneng babang, maral sa batlo ho tswa, listen, you don't gotta swa. Mara, it comes highly recommended in your Kenyega, in your Porega. You are going to get bored. And happy, like I said, Matchbox apartment. Legata di shopping sprees are Gucci, tele filweng chelete ke bo put malesa. Le tlokhona jwang lo dula mikukung ko South Korea. Emintle, with wooden floors. But nonetheless, it's a small little shack. How are you going to live over there? God has not given that to you as a gift. So stop trying to exploit it. And I mean, in my content up and coming, the 14-part series, I'm not going to live in a little matchbox because by the time I move to Korea, I'm going to be so independent financially from South Africa that I'm not going to need to live in a little matchbox. God knows what he's doing with me. Yet y'all are out here trying to govistering that don't make no kind of sense for you governing. Seeing as anithanda usomandla animfuni and abantwana bakhe manje bheka bayabaleka cause ni mean you've been mean to us. So jaka khanele batla gore ke faile ke tlo faila jwang ke le so. I'm the one with the calling here, not you. I'm the one that even though I'm distracted, I'd life through it. I strive through it. I strove. You came at me, you attacked me, I felt sleepy. I struggled to concentrate. I did. But I still passed all my assignments and I still submitted nothing. I still passed all my assessments and I submitted nothing. And now that Kifedis and I'm twiddling my fingers, I'm doing top-up courses that came free with the course as like bonus add-ons. And I might still be waiting for my certificate. So jwanong ke mo ke share mosebetsi ne ke sa batle ho share ke tshaba hore a uthina nang re nyang rata hore e tlong loela degree ya ka no go loya ke na taba ka boloi ba lona nna ke rabela ena hape ke dilo ke fastile ntwe ke tshabang go long sabotage because ke re la tsebana dintswato la tsebana le di chancellor tsa di university so long ke la degree ya ka ha le nka degree a ke tlo gona nna jwanong ya ko South Korea mara jwanong tshwantse ke tshepe modimo akere ke mo leng khutisitse lona bana ba ko gangsters paradise ba ko dangerous minds. You be out here trying to summon a human being, actually a demon or whatever. I wanted to elicit your apology to me. But now, I've come to a place where I'm like, as a concert. Angnandaba ne social media yenu. Angnandaba ne social media yenu because evidently, clearly, no man ngathandi. Abantu noma ningena talent ngempela. Le rata fela ndo nenzele mametse auto-tune. You don't like real talent, you don't like raw skill. You don't like people like me. You like to keep people down. You want people to out be singing in so far as they sing for Satani. And remember bang respite. So I've come to a place, y'all. I've come to a space. I've come to a place of solace nje. Ekiplomileng kayo mo yona as a hammock swinging in it. Singers ke rata ho ruta ha botlhoko hampe. Mara ke a bona hore ha le batlo ke rute mona. Singers ke rata ho bina ha botlhoko hampe mara ha les boys kill them sorry ke tlo bina mona. All of my talents, it appears I'm always going to be that raw gift hanging out all up in your midst. Writing short stories, but y'all passing me cold shade. Cause I'm too talented and too legit to quit for all of y'all mediocre randos. You always gonna hate my writing. So if I can't write on WordPress, where am I gonna write then? Christians, all throughout history, whenever stuff went mainstream, were kicked out of that mainstream space to a point where we had to come up with our own publishing houses. We had to come up with our own this, our own that. WordPress won't let me write on their platforms. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, won't let me share my artistic zeal on their platforms. It's a rat. It's a cat. It's a rat. It's okay, Yella. Because most of the world is not on social media. Most of the world is living random boring lives where they greet each other in the mornings. Hi, Mrs. Van der Merwe. Most of the world is not so prolific on social media that if at all YouTube decided that they're gonna just bring down everything that they've ever put up there, they're then gonna feel all emotional about it. Most of the world uses social media as, a little bit of an experiment. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And those who do ultimately take off upon trying to search social media, it's like they have been made to discover that, I can do this as an extra thing. But it tends to not be something that they were gunning for all along anyway. And that's how it happened with me. How I ended up so hectic and just get email on social media. I was writing, I get it in my blog, not my blog, sorry, but I before I came to Christ, and it's like those short stories, Facebook, I told you, right? Then I got born again. And when I got saved, I started listening to a whole bunch of poetry, P4CM, and I started to write poetry because, I figured I'm a writer, so why not try poetry? I then shared my poetry with a chick that turned out to be nasty, but nonetheless, she was beneficial despite being nasty in that season. And she was like, yo, girl, you good. Hey, I have a man that works in IT and her fiance, and he can start a blog for you because she shared my work with her husband, with her future husband, her fiance. And he was like, whoa, she good. And then the two of them were like, let's help her start a blog. So since the guy was an IT specialist, he was in IT and he was all accustomed with things like search engine optimization, whatnot. He was in IT, and this was 1 year after my faith. He was then like, let me start your friend a blog, and then she can put her poetry in the blog. And I gave her my first poem, not her, him. I gave her to give her future husband, a fiance, my first poem, and that was what he launched my blog with. Send me emails asking me details. What do you want to put in here, in the about page, etc. And I sent them back to him. They were arranging a website for me. And they used WordPress. And then when he was done, he then posted my first ever blog, my first ever poem. He posted it because I gave it to him to post because they are the ones that recommended that, listen, do this for real, actually start a blog. So unlike the first friend, Ola, from when I was still in the world, that was like, why don't you start a blog for fashion? Why don't you start a blog for writing? This time around, I was actually helped, the whole nine, everything. So it went a long way that people that noticed that I got something did it for me, because the first time I tried to do it for myself, it just flopped, right? Yeah, okay, and then he gave me my credentials, my passwords and everything, and was like, you're free to fly now. Navigate the website. Every time you want to write a new post, just click on that button over there that says new, and then write, and you're good to go. And so from that space, I then learned the interface myself, and I loved it so much. And again, I get that this guy was into SEO. He was a specialist. So unlike the first post that I did, where I posted and then nothing happened, this time around, the algorithm actually was doing a thing for me. Where it is that I would post something and within a few hours, a whole bunch of people had liked it. So I had interaction, I had engagement. I had engagement from my audience. And so because now I had an actual audience, I was like, oh, this is nice. So I was motivated to keep writing. And everything that I would post would get a like, a share, a reblog, a listen. And so therefore it became, oh, this is it. I'm doing it. This is it. I found my space. I found my true north. And because I was working for Jesus, I did not need any motivation, but just the love of God. And my blog grew from 2012, 13, 14, 2 years until I got 250 followers and another 250 random casual readers. And I was like, ooh. And then I got thrown into obscurity, and people in South Africa that can sabotage and pay bribes and stop a thing. When then I was writing about my experiences as to what in the heaven it is that was going on with me at MT, and all of a sudden, all the engagement that I had on my blog stopped. Now anything I write, nobody watches, nobody reads. Because in order for me to write on a platform like WordPress, which is mainstream, I have to love Satan. It turns out that my Christianity was just too taxing. We know that you're artistic, Arabo, but listen, you can't be that thing unless orata Satan. And as I know all this time, he's the reason why I had any kind of passion at all to write. He was the only inspiration I had to start doing poetry. Why would I leave him? But then I was told by South Africa, by those who could bribe and pull strings and do strange things. All up in my group, yeah. So Africans and Asha watch me keep baputile matsoho bangshi didn't make it bad record. You did that, buggers. You done did all that single-handedly. Listen, you did. South Africa bashebile motho asebetsa bawa putile matsoho atenye basna tabakanna. Ha! Dinzwer. Sure. And in that folding of matsoho abona, they then decided to guti. Until such time that you belong to our kingdom, you're not going to be able to successfully do anything creative on our platforms. Though tina asna talent donai. Though tina siputile matsoho sishebile osebetsa asnanda. Usalai. Yithi esizoyenza imali sothatha ama idea wakho, sothatha ama poem akho, sothatha ama articles wakho, sothatha ama video wakho, sothatha yonke into that you think with your brain that's the original ride or die, and then monetize it. And basically flat out tell you with all that bravado, oh, look at you go. I'm gonna take everything that comes from you. I'm gonna juice you like you some Take 5 until you agree to belong to my kingdom, because that's the only way that you're gonna be able to be nice and artistic in front of people. Right now, you're gonna be nice and artistic in front of me. And then I'm gonna take your ideas and make them mine. Okay? Yeah. Until you agree to belong to us. Okay, Satan, this is what's good. Thou shalt not worship any other God but the one true. Man does not live by bread alone, but by the word that proceeds from the mouth of God. And thou shalt not test the Lord your God. So listen, I'll pass. I'll keep Jesus. I don't need you. My gifts belong to someone's Lord. They belong to Jesus. Go, I'm loyal. Not you. I don't care for you. I don't. My skills belong to Marana Jerso. And so since my skills belong to Jesus, Jesus. Umane ngafuna ukuthi ngiwasebenzisa kodwa uGod wachizlile. Wawashayina ingathi ungithathise kabraso. Since God shone my pipes, and since God refined my writing, since God gave me more talent than I can imagine, God was like, very well, my child Bambino, if they don't want you on YouTube, Facebook, WordPress anymore, if they don't want you on Instagram, listen, all these rando places, it's fine. This world, social media, yeah, we understand that it gives people, you know, a trampoline to show everybody that, listen, I can jump on a trampoline. But most of the global citizenship do not lean on using their skills and their talents on social media. Most of the world's citizens might post something that they get shocked trends and goes viral on TikTok, but their original plan was never to be a TikTok star. It was just to be relevant, because I mean, I guess everybody's doing social media now, right? Okay, so let me post something, then boo, it blows up. And that's then when they start to get a bright idea that maybe I can make money from social media. That's how it happened with me. I didn't start out writing thinking that I'm gonna make a career out of it. I just wanted to do that which I've always been doing, writing as a pastime. I love it, I enjoy it, and I want my friends to read my short stories and be and be entertained. But I wasn't actually trying to become an author. That's just the thing. I was not in South Africa. I didn't want to become I wasn't trying to be one. I wasn't trying to be a journalist or a columnist, though for fun I used to write columns in my jotter. I told you that from Coco when I was in high school. So when I started writing short stories, I wasn't trying to become a novelist. I wasn't trying to become an actual author. I just enjoyed showing people that this here is my side gig. It's the side thing that I do. I like doing this. It's my pastime. It's a hobby. Look at my hobby, guys. What do you think? And some people rated on some, this is nice. And others were like, start a blog. But then when finally I came to Christ and somebody started a blog because of my poetry on my behalf, and it actually took off. And I got a global audience looking at me like, you good at this. Listen, keep up the good work. That's when I was like, oh, I guess I'm a writer for real now. Listen, I've got a website. Come read me. It was so exciting. But never did I even think ever that I was going to make money from writing. I didn't think that I would ever monetize my website. I didn't think that I would ever earn AdSense revenue on my WordPress account. And then I got thrown into obscurity where I lost my career. So now I needed to make money. Listen, it's dry in these streets. I need some bread. Yeah. Okay. I then realized that since these streets are dry and I am parched, okay, listen, I've got a blog that I can use to try and make money. And then they made sure that the algorithms no longer proliferate my work until I can be an actually decently earning author on my blog. And then of course there was like from my blog, after my blog, because of the persecution that I was now in, and since I was already sharing my sorry story on WordPress, I then decided to go to listen, WordPress, the audience there is not big enough, I need more. That's when I started a YouTube channel in the bathroom of Wits University, my first ever video, I recorded it over there and then I started a YouTube channel 12 years ago. But this time around, because I was already fighting the monstrous Beelzebubian beast from the get-go, I was banned. From the very start, I was banned. Whereas with WordPress, I was left to fly like a bird until I was targeted by people who can sabotage and pay bribes. I was an enemy of a multinational corporation, otherwise known as MTN. And they wouldn't let me speak. I don't know what you did to my WordPress account, who done paid that bribe. But one thing that is certain is that all of my work from 2012 up until 2015 was erased from WordPress. Maybe that is a bribe. The internet does not delete people's content. My YouTube channel has been around for 14 years now. How long? 2014. 12 years, going on 13. Every last video that I've ever uploaded on there is still there, but I've privatized it. I've privatized my oldest YouTube channel. Social media does not run out of space to keep people's videos up. It's like content stays online unless the content creator deletes it or the platform deletes it for community guideline, whatever it is. That might be the reason the platform deletes. But if the platform is going to delete something, they tend to delete one post because they don't like it or whatever. They don't delete years worth of work up until a certain date. From the year 2012, when I started my blog, and my blog, it's clear that it started in 2012 because the age of the blog, if you see commencement date of the blog, it says 2012, but there's no work from 2012 up until 2015. That's when you start to see an article, and all my poetry was in 2012, going back 2012 going forward, sorry, and I lost all that. They deleted it. Who did? Like, listen, it's a bribe. It's the deep state. It's you monsters that don't want us to love Jesus. And we don't care that you don't care that we love. We don't care that you don't care that we love Jesus. I was lamenting against MTN, but those weren't, like, my work was not only a lament against MTN, it was everything. It was the beginning of my work where I was just sharing my love for God and my desire for ministry, writing poetry, out just sounding like a P4CM artist or whatever. And then only in 2014, when I was being harassed, that's when I started to write against MTN. And all my work up until 2015 is gone, all of it, including all the innocuous stuff that I started with. Somebody done paid those monsters a bribe to delete all of my work up to 2015. So now all the evidence, the only evidence I have that I started my blog in 2012 is the commencement date of the website itself. It's like I started a website and decided to just ignore it for 3 years, for 4 years, 2012, 13, 14, 15. I just decided to just ignore it for 4 years. And then only on the 4th year, I just pisa paraffin and just like grabbing from where I left off, just carried on writing. Pisa paraffin, steam, like starting a sentence midway. Hey, it's just that, how you gonna do that to me? Last time I saw this. Pretty sure what in the world you're gonna do to me tomorrow. Imagine starting a sentence like that. Hey, imagine starting a sentence with, really sure what are you gonna do with me tomorrow? When the beginning of that sentence was, why have you hurt me so much? I'm not really sure what you're gonna do to me tomorrow. But then your sentence ends up starting with, really sure what you're doing to me tomorrow. Nobody knows what you're saying over there. My blog just starts pisa paraffini that don't nobody know what the context to it is, but I'm mad. And it's in 2015. That's what was done to me on social media. That is what under heaven was freaking done to me on social media. So I mean, listen, seeing as Nami, just like most people who start a career on social media, tend to start so not intending to make it a main thing, but it becomes a main thing because it becomes lucrative. They were perfectly content merely just posting a status update once every 3 days and then coming back to see what everybody's doing, scanning their photographs, and then going on back to your boring life again. That's how I used to be with social media. And when I did start a blog, I wasn't trying to monetize it. I was just using it as an outlet for my artistic talents. It was only when I was suffering that I then decided to use this to broadcast the travesties that were being committed against my life. However, from the very get-go with YouTube in particular, I was banned. From the very get-go with YouTube, I was banned from the very start. So I've never known any pleasure when it comes to a video streaming platform. I've never known any legroom with video streaming platforms. I've never known any legroom on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook video, everywhere. Somebody done paid a stupid lady or a stupid dude a bribe. A stupid moderator, a bribe. And manje, if at all social media is gonna function like such a freaking terrorist, I'm sorry y'all, whether or not it is a syndicate in South Africa, or really and truly even the American deep state is in on it, I don't give a rat's behind anymore. This season of being away from social media, during the time when I was doing my TEFL course, introduced me to so much love for this new craft that I'm about to enter into, that I am thoroughly now decidedly, officially leaving social media. I'm leaving social media. I don't need you. I won't ever stop writing. I won't ever stop singing. I won't ever stop being artistic. But I just won't do it in this dastardly place where everybody is a freaking devil worshiper. I don't care for you. Yeah, of course. I will watch videos on YouTube and keep on wondering, creasing my forehead at every Christian on the platform that is allowed to thrive as to whether or not they belong to the cult or not. It's always going to be a curiosity dwelling richly in the top of my brain. But in spite, I will watch them because at the end of the day, edifying content will always be online because wheat will always exist among tares. There are people that have been brilliant preachers in history that are in hell today. So being eloquent and absolutely charismatic and able to deliver a sermon, that'll always edify me even if you are a son or a daughter of hell. So while I don't know how many people on social media that claim to be of us are not of us, I know that God has shown me some people that are not of us but that claim to be of us. And I'm like, you're such an excellent sermonist. Oh my goodness, your exposition on the Protestant Reformation is just so excellent. If you are a devil worshipper, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, you're going to hell. But thank you, I'll take it. I'll take your very excellent thesis and I'll read it. Because look at you do a whole bunch of work for Jesus even though you are a son of perdition. I don't know how many people are chilling on social media that are truly of God versus not. All I know is that as a child of God, all I know is that Mina, as a daughter of the living God, I have been denied access to this platform from the very get-go in a way that's just too ominous for all of these soaring content creators to look innocent that are Christian. I'm not saying they're all in on it. I'm not saying they all belong to the devil. Listen, I can't say that. And again, there's too many content creators for all of them to belong to a cult. But there is literally so much freaking harassment of the body of Christ on social media right now that it causes me to second guess every last thriving Christian on the platform. Because y'all kicked us out of the printing press until we came up with our own publishing houses. Y'all have been kicking us out of mainstream everything. Gospel musicians are no longer Christian. All of them are coming up dealing with the Illuminati. They're all out here making like Triple and Lecrae, putting their one eye, their hand over their one eye, and yet they're doing gospel music. They're out here glitching and twitching like Tasha Cobbs. I can't. So I don't know who to trust. I just don't. But I mean, if a song is edifying, with me swaying left to right, and the lyrics of the music are not heretical, I'll take it as a gospel track and I'll run with it, just like I will read the thesis of a theological seminary student that after graduating from theological seminary and writing an excellent thesis goes on right ahead to be an Illuminati puppet. I will read your thesis because it's excellent, but God will send you to hell after you edified me with your thesis. I don't care for all of y'all anymore. I don't know how many of y'all are involved in cults. I just know that I've been too bad for y'all to be any kind of believable anymore. I'm not saying everybody that is a Christian online is a true believer or not. I'm just saying there are way too many successful believers on the internet for me to be going through what I am going through with any level of believability. I cannot be the only one that is being done this to. It's like they identify the Holy Spirit and then are like, no. And since the body of Christ would rather choose obscurity, better to be in the house of nothing than to be with much plenty stuff amidst a whole bunch of wicked. Better the little that the righteous have than the plentiful abundance of many wicked. Of the wicked, sorry. Better the little that the righteous has than the abundance of the wicked. So I'm better off out here singing in a small little choir in a church that loves the Lord in a foreign country like South Korea. I'm better off singing with my pipes over there, edifying the church over there, than on freaking social media. I'm better off living my quiet, tranquil, peaceful life as a saint of the living God, raising my children with my doting husband, somewhere where the world does not want to hear me sing. Somewhere where the world does want to hear me sing, but away from a world that doesn't want to hear me sing. I'm better off with that very simple life. Listen, simple life, baby. However, mangshona mina ngizotshelwa usomandla wami, well done, Shem. Woo, Sisi Nana, good and faithful servant. You have fought the good fight, you have run the race, you have kept the faith. I'm better off living a life under the radar with no relevance, do you understand, than looking like a Christian, however I'm a wolf in sheep's clothing, out here thriving a mammoth YouTube channel with plenty subscribers. I'm better off being with that channel, however, compromised and contributing to the mutiny against the body of Christ. I'm not signing with Satan. Richard Wurmbrand, my brother, who is now late, was told in communist Romania that just kiss the ring of the king and we'll let you be what you want to be. And in a congregation full of pastors about to sign their souls over to the devil, he flat out said, no, communism is evil. And like Richard Wurmbrand, I'm sitting here and I'm saying social media is freaking evil. And I will not kiss its ring, bow down to it, just to have a freaking channel. No, I won't. I'm mad. I am mad as heck. I'm 5 seconds away from spitting profanity because you're that dastardly. I will not allow all of my skills, my talents, and my gifts take away the pearl of a great price from me. I can't lose my salvation. I guess that's the reason why I won't settle. But these here are the last kicks of a dying horse. I'm about to start a career as a teacher. And as it grows and grows and grows, more and more of my time is going to be dedicated to all of those people. And there's going to be less and less of me prepared to just like out your pine over freaking social media. Listen, I'm not going to miss it. I'm not going to miss it. I'm not going to miss a place where people come here to steal my ideas, lackluster people wanting to steal the prospect of being a teacher in South Korea, even though they can't even study a TEFL course properly. I'm not going to sit here while dastardly men sing me, I tell myself you don't mean a thing, feeling entitled to me. How in the world you gonna let yourself fall in love with someone that you don't know? What? How you gonna let yourself fall in love with them? If I was Almazi, dog, Almazi from a bar soap, and then feel so entitled to her and feeling gatti. I can't do without Karabo until you pull me in. Kadiklar. Give me headaches 24 hours a day. Ha ke tsamaya, lang tsa, lang forced or ke poste. The only reason I'm posting, the only reason I'm even sharing this here, 30 however many part series, only reason I'm sharing it, my dear darlings, is because I'm in between worlds and I'm listless. I'm twiddling my fingers. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm pea shooting. I'm pea shooting because I'm yet to get my TEFL certificate so I can start applying for a place online that I might raise money to take myself back to school, get my degree, and then move to the country that God showed me is where I'm going, South Korea. And then from there, but all that activity of finally getting me to Korea is going to be so busy. And then when I'm back at Wits, I'm going to be studying so much that I'm just as when I was on Facebook and I knew I had to leave, God had to replace that yearning to just keep on posting in front of people that are hostile with something else. And there's something else that he replaced social media with was himself. The Lord gave me something else to look at. Before then, I wanted to quit but just couldn't. Like ditching a drug habit, like ditching a cigarette habit. Unless you're out here chewing on some Nicorette, you're gonna struggle to deal with an addiction that you know you have to walk away from. And social media is that addiction. I started out saying, I'm gonna come back after Jara and post in South Korea and try to reach South Koreans. Mara, I'm making a decision that, listen, I'm done with social media unless you dastardly monsters apologize to me. But you're arrogant. I wanted to elicit an apology from you, but you arrogantly pulled me back in Gabului, gave me headaches, caused me to be dizzy. You caused me to struggle to focus, to concentrate, until I came here and vomited bile out of my mouth. I tried to stay away from uploading. I even uploaded my old videos to basically reiterate the sentiment that I'm presently sharing right now, saying there's nothing new under the sun. I've said this before, idiots. I have. Only listen to my old videos where I was still living in an ugly shack, background of which was out your lackluster like no man's business. Listen to my work when I still had a whole bunch of piercings on my face, going through a season in Jafela of identity like crisis. Listen to my content all throughout this time when I would rock up kisa apara hantle, kisa khurumeza ma khetla aka. Listen to the content when I was still feeling my way around a labyrinth that was just utterly hostile to the cross until I repented, in spite of how physically I was compromised. Nonetheless, the speech on my tongue was exactly the same. That has been maintained. Flatlining like a coded patient. It was maintained in deadness to Christ. I've been dead in Christ the whole time. Though outwardly, things changed, meandered. At some point, I had too many piercings on my face. At some point, like I said, I was immodest. My hair were just all over the show. I was not looking good enough. Some content I wanted to share it because the video was that. Some content I wanted to repost because the video was that compelling, but I was just too immodest in it to allow myself to share it. I was willing to share some content where there was just too many piercings on my nose and on my lip, because at least there you're just looking at piercings. But when it just got too much skin, too much cleavage, I was like, nah, I'm not sharing that. The message coming out of my mouth has always just been dead in Christ. It's been dead all this time. I've been holding on for dear life to Christ. Christ made me repent from certain physical, outward things that just did not make sense, but the core speech has been the same. I tried to repost all that old work to basically respond to all of your pulling of my person back to social media. Instead, I got sicker than even when I was dead quiet for 2 months with your witchcraft spells, because now you are trying to force me to share newer work, because not only do you want my ideas, but you want to know what the heck I'm doing. It's okay, I'll let you know. I'm about to go back to Wits. If you want to go and pay brabs over there, do what you want to do, but you're going to get what you want, because listen, it's the last time you'll ever get it. I trust the Lord to protect me from I trust him to refuse to let you steal my degree from Wits. I'm getting it. I trust God to protect me, because at this point, if you're going to give me these headaches and if you're going to make me listless, if you're going to make me twiddle my fingers, that I can't even write out a glitch, a technical glitch in the Wi-Fi system, enough for me to just sit here on the internet without freaking out, freezing. Like, you put that much anxiety in my bones. I've been sitting waiting to get my TEFL certificate so that I can start applying online. But until it comes, and it could be a week, 2 weeks before it, I can only sit and watch my old content and just wait for you guys to just, I don't know, implode or whatever, reach entropy, do what you want to do. But I mean, listen, when my headaches are this bad, and when my nightmares are this bad, and when all of your pullings and your trainings are this bad, when your demonic attack is this bad, I guess I owe it to you to let you know that I'm done with social media. I owe it to you to let you know that never again are you ever going to be able to whistle, hey, brr, pala and identify me wherever I might find myself in the world. Now I'm so paranoid about what the heck you all are doing. I don't even know if I start a YouTube channel from South Korea, if you're not gonna come at me over there like an orangutan freaking hanging out on my back or whatever. I don't know. But one thing that is certain is that I know how to bake and I can sell cinnamon buns to an audience of people by simply sitting at a porch, by simply going to a farmer's market and buying a stand over there and selling out within 2 hours without social media. I can do that. I know that it's possible for me to make a decent living with all the myriad of talents that I have got. I'm aware. I'm also aware that insofar as I make enough money, I can start a content marketing website without using WordPress. Yeah, it's going to be harder to get an audience. Yeah, it's going to be harder to basically get my work out there without using platforms like Wix and WordPress in order to push my message out there. I can have my website hosted somewhere where I'm going to pay a lot more money by some independent platform that's then going to enable me to push my, in particular, English business along. It's going to help me push my English business along. The intent is to do content marketing with my business so I can proliferate my agenda as an English teacher. I intend to do exam prep. I intend to help people prepare for examinations and tutor students and lead them to my website. I intend to start my own tutoring business. But I'm not going to succeed to do that using freaking WordPress. Do you understand? As the host, as the website that is going to help even with the algorithm, because I get it, WordPress belongs to these monsters. WordPress is where it is that they deleted all of my work from 2012 up until 2015. And recently I started a new WordPress account in order to satiate my desire to write. And as soon as the first post I posted, I got 1 like. The next one, no views. It's dead completely. Nobody's viewing me. Mamela, you can pay the world off. But once I'm making my own money, I can buy a website. I can thoroughly find my own little unique space on the internet, and even though it's going to be really hard to market myself without the algorithms of these sophisticated social media platforms, nonetheless, it's my little baby, and I'm not trying to become a millionaire, okay? I'm not trying to become a billionaire, alright? I am not trying to become so huge that the whole planet knows me. I just want to make a difference in my own little corner of the world. I had to go open for my cat. I'm not trying to become so mammoth that every single human being and cell in their body knows me. I just want to impact my own little corner of the world. And the thing about being a niche market, the thing about being a niche skill is that you don't need 20,000 people. You don't need to scale. Thank you. You do not need to scale. You don't need 20,000 people to buy your 2 or 3 per unit little cake pops. You only need 1 customer to buy all your cake pops for their 1 bakery. The thing about being a niche skill is that all you need is 1 big paying client in order to be comfortable for pretty much the rest of your life. 1 or 2 people, 1 or 3 people. And I mean, listen, people back in the day used to market like that all the time. People back in the day used to knock on doors of corporates and pitch their ideas in an elevator and then win a big corporate client. And manje, seeing as I want to do exam prep, manje, seeing as I want to do business English, manje, seeing as I want to also sell some baked goods, all I need is, like I said, 1 bakery to buy all of my cinnamon rolls per week, or go to a farmer's market once a week. All I need is 1 corporate, 2 or 3 to hire me to teach their staff business English. All I need is 1 or 2 or 3 students that are prepping for examinations to do so well because of me. If they will, word of mouth, proliferate my business card to their peers who also want to do really well, to get parents on board about this really excellent tutor. All I need is that kind of marketing. Social media, you are ridiculous. You are freaking devilish, you're satanic, you're demonic. And you have cost people careers, lives. You've made them very unhappy. You have caused people to be seasonally excited about being able to proliferate their craft on your platforms only for you to later on demand that they become the devil. You are satanic. And then now I'm a teacher. Now I am a tutor. And now I'm an evangelist to whoever will listen to me, because frankly, heaven rejoices when even one sinner repents. So I don't need a YouTube channel that's got 300,000 subscribers. I don't need a YouTube channel that has got 300,000 subscribers, because listen, I recognize that I've got a niche market over here. I'm like a really good therapist. I recognize that I've got a niche service over here. I recognize ukuthi abafazi bakhathele, abafazi bavuzisiwe. They've got perforated buckets because of amadoda abathakathayo that are ritualists. I recognize my darlings. I see it. I see that women are suffering at the hands of merciless men. We're being married to miscreants, dastardly beasts. Basakatshwaneleng ba re bilelang dipina tse because to feel that strongly about me. And I mean, that is a big enough thing to avoid, my dear darlings. Huge. For me to have a handsome little tiny cocooned fellowship of women that are counseling each other once a week on these matters. And of course, it's a free service because it's the word of the Lord. But who it is that are my niche customers, who it is that are my niche, few they be that find it that I will reach for Jesus Christ, will find it necessary to rock up at my therapy sessions every week and have me counsel them, ease their open wounds, hug them, love them with psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs, and us sing gospel music with our beautiful voices together. I don't need everybody to sway left and right in a massive stadium as I'm singing the songs of Jesus. I only need a church that's going to have tears fall down their eyes because the Spirit is moving in the middle of praise and worship, and they're all I have for an audience. I do not need the whole freaking planet. Do you understand? And social media has made it look as if though you're not really serving God with your pipes insofar as you're not singing in front of a YouTube channel that has got 20,000 subscribers. We've been singing in front of 10 people all this time. We've been singing underground. We've been singing in prisons. As Christians, all throughout history, we have been using our skills and talents in a small little Bible study cell group that has got only 4 people that are in flight from a communist government. You will remember Paul and Silas in prison. It was only 2 of them singing until everybody's chains broke in that jail. We've been singing as 1 person, 2 people. And according to God, all throughout history, that's always been enough. I don't need these pompous platforms that will delete a person's poetry from for 4 years worth of a person's poetry until it looks as if though kiwama poems. Kiwama khale South Africa ne lona bang foster bang yeshang gore ke lo bua le lona ke sa batle khale le kula ene khale ke le zama mara khale le sang pat. So now let me go somewhere where people are exhausted of living such flaccid, empty, fluffy lives, and they will then find what it is that I have to offer valuable. I understand that it's going to be harder to market my English business, and I understand that it's going to be hard at all to write for the Lord where I don't have an audience. But you and your crazy Ofcom that out here is also persecuting websites will always come perhaps for my ministry, but you will never come for my English website, so that I will always have customers on. But just in terms of writing Christian content, oh dear people, that will always be persecuted on any cloud. That will always be persecuted on any cloud on earth. So therefore, I don't expect that I will ever thrive, even in a small niche, a ministry that is written. But I can try to thrive an English business, a content marketing website for my English business, that I can try. That you're like proper, for what? If I'm paying for hosting fees, if I'm paying for a space on the web, you can't stop that. And in terms of the customer, the clientele that goes there to benefit, I will be the one sourcing my own customers myself. I'm going to be the one knocking on doors by myself. And so whoever decides to take up my services, anyone else that comes to my website will be led there by word of mouth. I'm going almost like off grid, dog. It's like old school. Remember how businessmen, how entrepreneurs back in the day try to make stuff work? That's what I'm gonna do now. Listen, social media, you make people lazy. You make people lazy to market the good old fashioned way, because social media algorithms be out here burgeoning, booming people's businesses very easily. But when then you get locked out of social media, oh my goodness, listen, you have got to go back to the elevator pitch. You have to go back to annoying some corporate executive onto mo kokotela onto mo fa dipampiri tsenang le di idea onto bua le ena ko lifting a sa batho bua le wena. You're gonna have to go back to that, and that's what I intend to do. And since I'm such an excellent conversationalist, I suspect I will win just 1 or 2 or 3 corporate executives that will finally hire me and my services in their organization to out here teach their staff members business English. But before they will hire me, I have to be in a country, do you understand, where it is that they will be willing to listen to me speak. Before I will succeed to win corporate clients for my skills, I have to be in a nation that is non-English speaking and annoy some Korean executive. But in order for me to annoy some Korean executive until he finally takes over my services for his, for his stuff, I have to learn how to speak Korean. So first, I'm gonna teach as a regular English teacher. And then while my visa is still stretching itself and doing whatever it's doing, once I know Korean, I am literally going to knock on corporates in Korea and say, Mamela, listen, yalla, what's good? I understand that like English is a whole lingua franca and you need me. And I will pitch elevator type pitches to these people until 1 or 2 or 3 corporates in Korea have got me as their language teacher. That's my plan. You've been wanting me to share my plans. You've been wanting me to sit here out here talking to all of you gangster monstrosities, sharing my ideas so that, listen, you can bewitch them? Go on and bewitch all that. But I am no longer using social media because Leo on a social media thing, it kind of limits you, it restricts you, especially when people have got social biases. If they've got racial biases, they're not going to listen to you unless you hassle them. So frankly, you put me in a position to ugesha abantu that wouldn't have had listened to me by mere virtue of me being a black girl. But if I'm out here chilling out in a parking lot in front of your car, trying to convince you to hire me, you might want to ignore me, but listen, you will finally listen to me if at all what I'm offering you is worth the while. And I'm good at what I do. I'm good at everything I do. You can just hear it in Jeffla from the way I speak. And so if I have to market myself out there in the wilderness in midair, as opposed to in the World Wide Web, I will do that because you have kicked us out of the World Wide Web, have you not? You have kicked us out of Twitter. You have kicked us out of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. If we're gonna make money, we have to go old school. And thank God, most people are not yet on social media for a living. So it's not gonna be taboo, weird, or whack if I don't have handles as a Twitter, as a X, as a whatnot. But guess what? Oh, corporate executive, I have a website and it's whole legit. Like, look at it. I got customers. I got reviews over here. I got students that I be out to teach it. I'm a real business. I just don't use social media because I don't trust it. I don't use X. I don't use Facebook. I don't use YouTube. I don't use Instagram. I use me. Old school. It's the real deal. It's legit. And my students, you can even meet them. You can meet them. I know them. Some of them I've got close relationships with, like as in we have dinner every so often. That's how I'm going to get into mainstream Korea as an expat. It's gonna happen, watch it. And so I'm gonna be that rare thing that is so hard to come by expats in Asian countries. Can't infiltrate the culture. You'll always be just a foreigner. No, not me, baby. I'm gonna be one of them. Do you understand? I'm gonna be one of them almost as if the Korea is as diversified as South Africa. I'm going to be hanging out with these people like they're my BFF or whatever. Because that's what God is doing with the sister over her. And so since that's what's gonna give, understand that while the enemy may come at us like a flood, God raises a standard. You done kicked your own bestest people out of the streets and into a cocoon. And somewhere else, God gave them so much ingenuity that they thrived in an ecosystem that set them up for failure. Mainstream anything has always eventually persecuted Christianity. And so Christians, it's now time that we go back to the good old-fashioned elevator pitch, baby girl and boy, and stop leaning on these platforms, especially considering they're stealing our freaking content. We're the geniuses out here in these streets. We out to be getting ideas from heaven, and they're taking our prophecies, sharing them on their platforms. They're doing weird trash, okay? They're taking our ideas, making them their own. Okay. But I mean, all the best. Stealing from someone that's just not there for you to see. I'm not leaving because I'm scared of your monitoring spurts. I'm only leaving because you won't let me live on these innovations of yours that have made you so arrogant that you think you can kick us out and then make us worship the devil when we don't wanna. We only love Jesus. I don't care for you. I don't gotta sing in front of 10,000 people. Only 5 that love God. And I don't need 20,000 customers all trying to get me to teach them English, and so I can't even give them one-on-one attention. I only need one decently paying client to pay my rent. I don't need to be a millionaire, only to eat enough. With these things, you must be content. I know how to be brought low and how to abound. I know that godliness with contentment is great gain. I only need enough to eat and only need enough to drive a car. I only need enough to feed my children, buy their diapers, give them baby formula. I only need enough to buy my husband a present, and I only need enough for us to pay our mortgage. I don't need more than that. So therefore, the millions that can be made from just absolute hard knock scale, I don't need them. I only need enough. And that is what people need to ultimately get to the point of. Realize, Uguti, if at all you're going to chase after that paper, you will, for the sake of getting 20,000 people to buy your book in 1 week. Amazon. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Because don't nobody love the body of Christ. The world hates disciples. They will just keep on stealing your ideas. If you want freedom, exploiting Nabeyoguti. Most people are still not on social media like that. And so you're not going to be all that weird. And secondly, exploit God's favor over you. Exploit God's favor over you. Exploit something. You'll succeed. He knows the plans he has for you. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope in the future. He said that to Jeremiah, but listen, it's also yours as a promise. Trust that if God is sending you to one town, He will thrive you. He will flourish you over there. He will succeed you. He will excel you over there. He will not send you where it is dry, where He has not set the landscape for your prosperity. He will indeed endure you through a wilderness for a season, but once you come out of there, there will be plush lands full of green grass for you to harvest. You don't need social media because it does not want us. It doesn't want Christians. Look at how TikTok out here just brings down Christian content without giving them an avenue to even appeal. The deletion of an entire account. You can't carry on like that. You can't be that, what is the word that I'm looking for? That unstable. There's no job security in this place. You cannot today be earning so much and then tomorrow you're freaking demonetized. You can't be watching your words. The gospel in itself is very scandalous. So dilly-dallying around certain words, not trying to like poke any hornet's nests, you're not going to get very far with that. The gospel is offensive. And so if the words coming out of your mouth offend, whatever, offend in a space where you still have a freedom of expression for real, even though these people claim to award it. We don't need them. I don't need them to eat. I really don't. I'm gonna start my own thing. And I'm gonna grow it the old-fashioned, very difficult way that entrepreneurs back in the day used to just scrape their knees just trying to sell one thing. But if it takes, man, how it takes. That's how I'm gonna grow my life going forward. But more social media. You're not gonna make it. Do not trust it. It'll break the crap out of your heart. Like, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Let it be there for entertainment. Let it be there for your lackluster status update on Facebook where you're telling people that, oh, you woke up feeling cranky today. Let that be all that social media does with you. But do not put all of your girth, your weight, your might, your splendor, and your hope in it, because listen, you will die. Your soul will shrivel up inside. It'll become ash until you feel worthless. It'll make you second guess your skills, your talents. It'll make you feel bereaved of a global citizenship that is there for you to exploit, but that they just won't let you touch. Social media alone. It lets go madima become matlakala. It lets go batho ba foster with a TEFL course ba sa rate batho. E foster ba etsa batho gore ba utswe di ideas tsa batho ba leng bete go ba phala, just so they can